Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. Most of us can still remember the former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Obadiah Mailafia, who came up to give some very strong revelation. In a radio interview he was granted some 5, 6, 7 months ago, where he opened up on what the plan of the Fulanis were and what they had in their intention come 2022, what their plans are and all of that they're already in the bushes, and open up to Nigerians what the plans are. And it wasn't long, DSS had to invite him over. He was almost been arrested, invite over to come and give detailed information about what actually happened. And after a while, he was under serious threat. I could still remember at one point where he opened up that some persons came to deal with him and he had to scale the fence, the fence of his house. And that kind of shut him up, But right now, he has decided to come up again to speak out concerning those who are behind the banditry activities in Nigeria. What actually happened? It's a serious one. He had exposed when it all happened, the agreement they entered into, and why the bandits are reacting the way they are reacting, and why this government seems not to be able to do anything about it. And we're going to look at that in a short period. But before we continue, if you're not subscribed to our channel, just hit on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. According to the news, a former deputy governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Obadiah Mailafia, says many of the bandits troubling the country were sponsored by persons who wanted to push former President Goodluck Jonathan out of power at all costs. Mailafia said this during an interview that he was granted on Thursday. He said, and I quote his word, during the 2015 elections, they brought in thousands of foreigners into this country, armed them because it was a case of if Goodluck Jonathan doesn't surrender, there will be war. They were ready for civil war. They were not ready for peace. Of course, Jonathan handed over to them, and then they turned their backs on the hoodlums, and the hoodlums said, look, you brought us here, and we are still here. Mailafia, who was the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress in the last election, said he was also convinced that some foreign powers were behind the bandits. There are certain world power that wants to destroy our country. That is what I believe. There was a container load of weapons that were brought in from Turkey. Another time, some were brought in from Iran. But nobody probes further, and everything was swept under the carpet. And that was the end of it, he said. The former CBN deputy governor, who was lastly invited by the Department of State Services and the police for saying that an unarmed northern governor was a Boko Haram commander, said the fact that our other people have come out to say far worse but have not been invited shows that he was unfairly targeted. He went further to say, my name is Mailafia and I'm always for peace. I want peace in this country because I know without peace there can be no development, but I think the people in government have to be objective and treat us equally. Someone says one thing and they go after him. Others say worse things and they treated with kids' gloves, he said. The former CBN deputy governor also disagreed with the approach of Sheikh Ahmed Gumi on the issue of amnesty for bandits. Mailafia said it was wrong to offer such hoodlums amnesty and then make no provision for the victims, adding that they have no agenda other than to destroy. He argued that appeasing the bandits would never work, even as he said the Niger Delta militancy and the banditry ravaging the country are two different things. According to him, he said, I do not believe that the Niger Delta militancy can be compared to terrorists. These people are not even bandits. A bandit is a common thief. the Agbero are bandits. These people carrying sophisticated weapons and rockets are not bandits. They have killed, they have maimed, they have done all manner and have wreaked havoc, Mailafia said. Good one day from Mailafia. I think at this point, Mailafia does not really care again. That's why he has decided to come out and to speak concerning the trend of events in the country. Don't forget that we have said before now that he said some things last year and the DSS came after him so strongly and they almost intimidated the man's life out of his body. But however, what we have seen currently is far worse than what he said, especially coming from Sheikh Gumi, who had the opportunity of even visiting these bandits who are in possession of some very good weapons. You understand? And let's look at what Mailafia has said. I think it's really, really interesting, considering the fact that we've been wondering the balls that these guys, these so-called bandits, they have, which would allow them to talk to the current government the way they did some few days ago. Imagine group of bandits talking about an agreement with the government and demanding that the presidency should come forward and negotiate with them. And they started giving conditions despite all the nefarious things that they have done thus far. They started giving conditions, how they want their own ethnic group to be established and to be treated like the other three major ethnic groups, how they want their children to be sent to school and be given employment, how they want their own people to be in lofty positions in the country and all of that. And they were demanding that the president should come for negotiation. That one was like a big insult. When I saw it, I said, this thing is far beyond what we are seeing. There is something that they know that we do not know as ordinary citizens, you know. And now Mailafia had already opened up. And that's why some of them who have experience, for example, Erufai, what he said about not giving in to bandits, negotiating with bandits, it's the worst thing that you can do. That's why we have to, the people who are into politics need to come to a point where they understand that politics is not a do or die affair. You understand? Now imagine if someone like Goodluck Jonathan had considered politics as a do or die affair, what would have happened in this country? But when he came up and said, hey, my political ambition does not even worth the blood of any Nigerian, that was just it. I knew that that man was ready to play the games by the rule. Anybody who wins takes the day. But hey, some persons were like, by all means, we have to come in. And imagine if what Mailafia is saying is absolutely true, inviting some nefarious people who cannot break into your boundary, people who cannot come into your environment and take charge. You gave them that opportunity, invited them from wherever you invited them from. They came in and assisted you, and now look at how the country is currently. It's something that I feel that whoever that did it, because though he did not mention names, but whoever that was behind this invitation of these wrong guys around, such people should please, for the sake of the bloods of Nigerians, should wake up and fix this situation. Because if there's no other people that I think so much about, the Northerners, those guys are suffering a great deal of pains. Most of them, their businesses have gone down, have gone underground. Some of them they don't even know what their future is going to look like. And it's getting worse by the day. We've already heard what has happened at Niger State. Now it has happened also in Zamfara State. Who knows who's going to be the next victim? Why? Because of greed for power. Greed for power. Look at where it has landed us. I think the issue of democracy needs to be reintroduced into Nigerian. It should be a subject in school that people need to study, and politics also should be integrated from primary school, so that people will come to understand that this thing is not a do or die affair. There's nobody that is in control of power that makes him the greatest in the world. You have a timeline, you're going to be out someday. So what's this issue of trying to drag in, getting some kind of terrible engagement with daredevil guys, you know, bringing them in, not knowing that today they're going to turn out like this? And why didn't you settle them things so that this country can be at peace? This is really troubling. Mailafia can no more hide. He needs to open up and say all of this. Now look at the issue of bringing in weapons into the country day after day. Because, the whole thing is the way these guys are doing things currently, it clearly shows that they are in charge. There's something that nobody's telling Nigerians that is giving them these balls. Someone I saw on the social media, a young man was crying for and telling soldiers, hey, forget about what you guys are doing in the south. Those guys are no problem. We have more bandits and more troubling beings in the north. Leave the southeast and come over to the north and help us fix the situation. And guess what? That's absolutely true. Because if time is not taken, these guys may end up losing everything. We've heard about the National Livestock Transformation, whatever plan that the federal government have, and they've already mapped out about 30, grazing site for these Fulani headers who, to some extent, they are also involved in all of these things. Who knows what the North will turn out to be in future? However, I would like to leave it there. Go to our comment section. You've heard what Mailafia said. Let's talk. What do you think about the statement made by Mailafia? Do you think there's an element of truth in what he has just said?